As far as the rescheduling or the diversity day, someone said tonight in their comments, and I think it's important, that the board voted to eliminate the day. That is not an accurate statement. There was no vote by this Board of Education to cancel or postpone Diversity Day. I met with administrators, teachers in the district, and collectively we took a look at where we were with our processes and with that day, and we decided to postpone, and I delivered that message to the board. That's an important factor here, okay, that needs to be clarified. So it is scheduled to be rescheduled. I talked with Mr. Spencer today. He's been working with the staff members and working with those who are interested to review the day, review the activities, review the processes related to the activities, and to align those things and provide for the board a presentation or a document that would suggest what the materials are going to be, what the activities are going to be, and what the recommended date or dates for reschedule are.
Scott, I have a clarifying question. So you're saying that you had the concern. Did you receive complaints from parents or guardians who had signed a permission slip and said their child could participate?
I had concerns.
I mean, how did this come to our table, essentially?
Like many things do, through email, concerns, telephone calls, questions, text messages, social media. In my role as superintendent, I need to be, in a fast-moving environment with a lot of different, you heard them tonight, perspectives on content, standards, requirements, policies, procedures. To move forward with something with that amount of questioning and concern did not seem, in my opinion, to be the best thing to do.
But was that from the parents?
That is not a canceling of the event, which is played out in this community, unfortunately, because that's the way things happen here sometimes. And so the story is told by those who aren't the storytellers. So if you're asking me specifically who called me, I'm not going to tell you that. Because there were many,
heard from the parents of the students that had given permission, because in my emails, I didn't have a single one, not from parents that had opted in. That's the clarifying question and point that I want to understand. Were they upset? Were those parents that had made that choice for their children upset because they did not have all of the materials to review?
Can't answer that question. Because I don't know. Not everyone tells me or reaches out to me personally.
One of the students.
Are there any more discussions about the levy or consolidation or anything?
Not from me, no, but on this topic, one of the students who wrote us an email asked if I would read it today. They are, as Dave knows, hard at work right now, preparing for their theater performance that's coming up. So I just want to read it really quickly. It's actually quite long, so I don't know. And I don't know if, and the concern that I heard was he received a singular response. And yeah, is that better? Is that better? Thank you. So to whoever this may concern, the importance of diversity, that's what it's titled. The Forest Hills School Board recently canceled Turpin's Diversity Day. We all know, to be cleared, it's rescheduled. They're in the process of trying to reschedule that, so just to make that clear. The announcement of the cancellation was made shortly before the end of the school day, the day before the event was supposed to occur. I, along with many other fellow students, was shocked to learn about the decision, and even more shocked to learn as to why exactly it happened. The board's purported reasoning, as far as I know, was that no specific information about the event was provided to parents and students who wished to participate. As a student coming from a very different background when compared with the majority of students at Turpin, perhaps I can clear up the advantages of having such an event and why the board's objections are misguided. First, I should introduce myself. I'm going to not say this person's name because I don't want that person to be targeted. I'm a junior here at Turpin. I was born and raised in India until I was about 9 years old. My upbringing was very different from the majority of my peers. When I first moved to the United States, I had to learn about the culture and practices of the people here in order to adapt. I believe, however, that my experiences with multiple cultures have been an integral part of my understanding of the world. A lot of people in the U.S. do not have a way to connect with other cultures, which I believe is a shame and should be redressed. Educating oneself about the multitudes of cultures all around the world helps people understand how diverse we are. I attended Diversity Day last year. I did so knowing that Turpin is lacking in diversity. That is not a jab at anyone. It's simply a statement of abject truth. Turpin's lack of diversity can cause people to be ignorant about cultural differences, largely due to a lack of exposure. Diversity Day was a chance to reverse that, and I wanted to play my part in sharing my own experiences. During the event, my group discussed the lack of diversity, the lack of understanding between cultures, and how misunderstandings may arise that lead to potentially offensive or rude comments that stem from ignorance, among other things. I thoroughly enjoyed my time at the event, and I was able to learn about others' experiences and interactions with various cultures. I was looking forward to participating again this year and sharing my experiences with even more people. There were some powerful moments from last year's event that I look back on even today, something I hoped would happen again. I was shocked and disappointed to learn that the event had been postponed. The board's reasoning was, to me, uncharacteristic to Forest Hills. Their claim that the event was postponed due to lack of information is indecipherable. The goal of the day was stated in the title, Racial Diversity Awareness Day. I've heard, and my sources may have it wrong, that the board's decision was based on fear of critical race theory being taught. That notion is frankly absurd. It's my sincerest hope that the board is not so blinded by contemporary politics that they rescind an opportunity for the students of Turpin to learn about and appreciate each other. In order to remain neutral, I will neither oppose nor defend CRT, but if it is indeed being used by the board to postpone Diversity Day, which I doubt, then perhaps I will have to explore the political side of things after all. I believe that education should not be influenced by politics. I further believe that completely ignoring one side of things, i.e. trying to avoid talks of racism in order to avoid the entire issue, which happens to be racism and ignorance rather than CRT, is immature, and it's certainly not behavior becoming of the members of the board. No matter what one's personal beliefs may be, one should receive information about issues that are important. The information should be presented in an unbiased manner. CRT, based on my limited knowledge, is a discussion of racism in today's world. It's an idea challenged by many conservatives, and I welcome the challenges. It's my sincerest belief that this issue should be discussed in a civil manner, something that Diversity Day not only provides the opportunity to do, but encourages. Students are free to hold whatever beliefs they have, but Diversity Day provides an opportunity for us to explore our viewpoints, find shortcomings, because there are most certainly shortcomings on either side, and for us to evolve. For what is the purpose of education other than allowing us to think for ourselves? I know that I'm not alone in my disappointment at the postponement of Diversity Day. It's an opportunity many of us needed, and it's an opportunity many of us want. Why else did so many people sign up for the event? Please put politics aside, if indeed that is the cause of postponement, and allow it to happen. We need more understanding in today's divisive landscape. And I know that was long, and I apologize for the time, but I felt very strongly that students' words needed to be shared, and those students need to be heard. And I'm sure they're not watching a board meeting on YouTube, but if any of their parents are, I found out about this the same way most of you all did, and I just want to sincerely apologize to all of those students that put their just hard work and time and energy into trying to make something happen, and to the staff that supported that. And I'm deeply sorry about that. And I look forward to it being rescheduled and hopefully attending myself.
So, since I was asked directly the question, I care deeply about kids,
I know that you do.
and clear direction from this body is needed in this arena. So tell your administrators and tell your community what you want from this type of activity, because there's great concern about the direction. And as an administrator who takes their course of action based upon the direction of the board, it may not happen tonight, but I think there needs to be clear direction given to this school system about your position on this and how you want us to navigate moving forward. Thank you.
I'll add something to the Diversity Day discussion. I found out about it the same way everyone else found out about it. I was not contacted beforehand about a decision I wanted to make, one way or the other. On a side note to that, I would say that if you knew what you were signing your child up for, and it's an optional activity, I would look at that the same way I would look at, I know there are Republican and Democrat clubs in the high schools. And if a Republican club wanted to go on a Right to Life walk, and it was an optional opt-in experience, I think they should be able to do that. And saying that, that means the same thing would have to be able to happen on the other side. So if you knew what you were signing your child up for, and it is an opt-in class or activity, I think that is up to the parents to decide what is best for their children and what is best for them. And I think that goes to both sides on any activity. Now, if it was something that was being discussed across the board and in class environment, I think that everybody needs to know also what's being presented. If it was some type of auditorium discussion or something like that. So those are just my feelings. I think parents need to be aware and ultimately have the choice in what's going on for their child.
I'll say it like I said day one, I don't want any politics in the school.
Left, not right. We're here just to educate, and that's it.
Do you think diversity is political?
No, I didn't say diversity was political. I said I want no politics.
but we're
I didn't have
talking
anything to
about-
do with Diversity Day.
But we're on that subject, so I'm asking you a clarifying question.
He asked
You
for
said
direction.
no,
I gave him
thanks.
direction.
That you don't. So Bob Bibb doesn't want politics in school. That's your direction to Scott, and he should take yours